Alright, Athel, what do we got? Lethal, Supreme Athel. Sathel. Is that what they're going to be called? I'm not going to call any of them Supreme. I think we should call them Sweet. Sweet Athel. Sweet Kael. It's almost like sweet corn. I think that works. We're going with that, guys. We're going with that. Sweet. Sweet instead of Supreme. Alright, let's look at it, though. Let's look at it. Supreme Athel. A1, exemplar of stoicism. Attacks one enemy. If there are enemies under a freeze debuff, also attacks them. Decreases the enemy's attack by 3% whenever this champion hits an enemy with the skill, stacks up to 30%. Also resets this champion's attack by 3%, increases this champion's attack by 3% whenever they hit an enemy with this skill, stacks up to 30. Yeah. It's interesting, right? It's interesting, but it's not... It's only useful in, like, waves. It's not... It wouldn't really be useful in anywhere else. Maybe in... Well, you're not going to be freezing the spiderlings anymore. You know, maybe sub 20? Sub hard mode, I mean? If you're doing 25 to 21 spider, and you're freezing them with a Crypt King or a whoever you might be using to freeze, Achak, whoever it is. Maybe this is good, because then you're getting multi-hit on a ton of them, but that does, you don't want to blow up the spiderlings there. A2 Cold Company, attacks all enemies, will ignore, strengthen, ally protect, and unkillable buffs on enemies under a freeze debuff. Then has a 100% chance of placing freeze debuff for one turn. What? What? That's on a 3-turn cooldown. That should be like, it drops the freeze debuff and will ignore all of these if it lands or something like that. Ever Faithful A3 places a 50% increased attack buff, a 30% increase crit rate buff, and a shield buff on this champ for 3 turns, then grants an extra turn. The value of the shield is proportional to this champion's attack. At least they were smart about that. Not making it off like HP or defense or something. And then the passive, Frosty Glare, has a 15% chance of placing a freeze debuff on attackers for 1 turn. When hit while under a shield buff, has a 35% chance of placing a freeze debuff on all enemies for 1 turn whenever a shield buff on this champ is removed by damage. Oh, that's lame. I thought it was expired too. And that books up to 30 and 50. Yeah, I don't see anywhere this kit is good. I don't see where a little bit of control in Doom Tower or wave control, like I don't see it anywhere else really being beneficial. What about a Bommel? Freezing the bombs on Bommel? Yeah, kit makes no sense, Bront. Yeah. But only for waves? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. On Hard Spider you do. Yeah, on Hard Spider you want to blow them up, but not on the Bad Spider. Her passive should increase her damage against frozen targets as well. Yeah, that would be better, Rip Red. Because they take reduced damage under freeze. That's why freeze like kind of stinks, unless it's like you don't want people to die, like the Spiderlings. Supreme Athel will be the next guaranteed void Lego for 110, probably Liv. Supreme Galek. Exemplar of Rage attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has an extra 10% of inflicting a critical hit. Each hit also has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of any HP burn debuff on the target. That books up to 60. 60% chance on a 2-hitter on an A1 of increasing the duration of HP burn. That's interesting. That's a really cool A1. A really cool A1. A2, I don't know why they like this random stuff, man. Bloodshed Tempest. I mean, they got to keep with the Galek theme here. The random is what was always brought them down, I felt like. Attacks 4 times at random, though that could be good for Fire Knight. A 4-hitter, a 2-hitter. Places a 50% increased attack buff on this champ for 3 turns before attacking. Each hit has an extra 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Each hit also has 75% chance, books to 100, of instantly activating any HP burn debuffs on each target and decreasing the duration of those HP burn debuffs by 1. Decreasing. Decreasing? I thought that was increase the duration. Did I mishear Nubkex? Why would it say that? Don't activating HP burn do that already? Like, why do they have to explicitly say that? Does it say it for Sissia? This champ then attacks all enemies. 100% chance of HP burn on all enemies. That's not it. Instantly activates HP burn debuffs on each target and decreases. Oh, okay. And decreases duration of HP burn debuffs by 1 turn. Okay, so it does say it on Sissia. Alright, so that's normal. That's par for the course. A3, Unreasoning Outburst. Attacks all enemies, has an extra 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Alright, so you gotta build them with 90% crit rate. Has a 75% chance, books up to 100 of placing HP burn and block buffs. See, that's why, yeah, I mean, the block buffs and HP burn, that's Hydra. That's Hydra. Also places decreased speed debuffs on those whose turn meter is higher than 50%. So not reliable decreased speed, but HP burn and block buffs, that's pretty nice for Hydra. That's a great ability right there. Passive, whenever this champ receives here's another reason for Hydra. Whenever this champ receives a True Fear Freeze, Provoke, Sleep, Stun, Petrification debuff, instantly removes it, then fully heals this champ and grants an extra turn. That's awesome. That's awesome for Hydra. Alright. Yeah, I think Sweet Galek is he's looking good, man. I would not be upset if I pulled him. Obviously, Gorgid, Marichka, Taurus are all top of the list. But I wouldn't be mad if I got him. I'd probably be a little upset if I got Athel. Alright, Sweet Kael. Here we go. Exemplar of Skill. Attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. That books up to 75%. Puturescence. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing 3 poison debuffs. For 2 turns, these debuffs cannot be resisted. Also increases duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn. This cannot be resisted. Damn, I forgot about that piece. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty. What about that on Hydra? Poisons aren't great on Hydra, but I like the extend. Arcane Havoc attacks all enemies, places a 50% increase accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns before attacking. Like he needs the accuracy. I guess everyone else can use it. Also has a 75% chance, books up to 100 of placing a 50% decreased resist debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted, fills this champ's turn by 10% for each decreased resist debuff placed by the skill. That books down to 3 turns. Dude, 3 AoEs. Debuffs on all of them, and they all cannot be resisted. That's pretty dirty. And the passive, degrade, decreases each target's accuracy, crit rate, crit damage by 3% for each poison. Debuff on them. If there are multiple champs on the team with this skill, only one will activate. That's kind of dumb. Everything else is so good, though. I guess you could care about his passive. I mean, if there are 5 poisons on him, does that mean they have no crit rate? Doesn't every champ have 15 crit rate? That's a real good kit. Yeah, I would say this is the most solid kit. Galek at a close second. I would probably put Elhain third and Athel easily fourth.